The Meteor, Part 2. Okay, so I told you about Dream and this, then that I watched the videos of the Meteor impact and the sonic blast, and the tsunamis already happened. I haven't told you about that last videos, but I did talk about it. I wrote a book about it. So dreams have come true, and actually, they wrote about this a long time ago. You hear, el bramar de los mares. You hear the roaring of the seas. There are tons of signs, things, eschatological events, that are about to or took place. Interesting. So, what next? Hypothesis. And yes, I do acknowledge that I love, Orson Welles, that scary kind of thing. But what about? So, theorizing. If we had a meteor, a fragment of a meteor, impacting the top of the caldera in Yosemite, rupturing the boveda, the vault over the ceiling of the caldera, which is a couple of miles in diameter. It's a big caldera. It's a big volcano. That's Yosemite. Yosemite, Yellowstone. That's a big volcano. Apparently the largest one on Earth. So, as far as the most recent one is still sort of like active. There's trillions of tons of magma still under a crust. So, how big has the chunk got to be? Let's say a chunk. Let's say if we get a chunk of 50 tons, 100 tons, and a little piece of it, maybe a 30-ton chunk, hitting the atmosphere at let's say 100 thousand kilometers per hour, not per second, per hour. And let's say rupturing with a 30-ton fragment hitting the crust at, let's say, 20,000 kilometers per hour, be able to fracture the crust of the caldera in Yosemite. And would that fracturing of the crust of caldera, with the magma, the pressure, because it's a pressure system, so would the pressure system be disrupted to the point that parts of the crust of the caldera would collapse? It's like, trying onions to olive oil, the caldera, the top of it. So could we have not so much an eruption, but let's say, 30, 60, 90-day open crust, open caldera phenomenon, spitting fumes, and dust, and of course being blown towards the east, towards Washington, that part of and eventually Europe, a lot of it would end up probably in Iceland, North, Scandinavia, Siberia, following all the air currents. Could we have a winter an event on the northern hemisphere. And for several years. And could the southern hemisphere be untouched? So then, if that were to be the case, it would be a wise thing to start migrating to the south hemisphere of the Earth. And then again, that might not be necessary, because all of these might just be a figment of my dreams and your imagination, and nothing will happen. We are all safe. And there's no need to panic. We are all safe. I wonder about those 100,000 dolphins we just saw swimming towards the west in Santiago in this third week of February of 2013. 5 miles by 7 miles of dolphins. They estimated them to be 100,000 dolphins flying, escaping, going towards the west, towards the sunset. These are not, mind you, the dolphins that like the monks in the Himalayas are self-sacrificing themselves and destroying their bodies to burn to the shores, immolando, immolating themselves in fire, like a big protest. These dolphins are not actually helping the monks in their, self-immolation and protesting against, what these world leaders are doing. So many wars. I'm referring to, the 3 big ones. But that's another subject. The question about the dolphins going, 100,000 of them escaping to the sunset, the west. Are we gonna have a big earthquake? Or is it the Yellowstone event? Or a meteor event? Or maybe the 3 at once? So, be not afraid. Smith is here. Have no fear. Actually, I'm not Smith. I'm a Paxi. I'm Albert. All night and warrior from the Visigoths, the 3rd century, the 7th century. And in the year 700, we fought, the Muslims in the north of Spain, and we helped crown Kingdom Pelaya. But that's another story for another beat. This is Albert, a Paxi Albert, war revolution. Saying goodbye to you all. Farewell. Live long and prosper. Mano a mano.